You probably forgot. I should go on.
Yeah, excellent.
What's up, family? Right now, you tune in to WillieDLive. If you're outside of the U.S., let me know what country you're coming in from. I need you to do this, family. If this is your first time checking out the show, let me know what city, what state you're coming in from. Again, if you're outside of the U.S., let me know what country you represent. We need to know these type of things so we can know who family is. You dig what I'm saying? Also, if you have not done so already, there's a little bell next to your subscribe button. After you subscribe, click on that thing and join. And after you click on it, make sure that you select all notifications. That way, you don't miss anything. Going in right now, family, I want to welcome one of my favorite people in the world. Claressa Shields is in the building. Hey, hey.
Hey, thank you for having me.
Absolutely, absolutely. How you making out? You know, got Corona going on. I saw you doing was that a TikTok video or was it just Instagram? I saw you singing.
That was on my live. I was on Instagram live. Just
that was live. Okay. Yeah.
I was practicing. I had learned the new song, and I just was practicing singing it on there.
Right. I see you like mixing it up. So what are you doing besides, you know, doing a little singing to let the time go by, you know, during this Corona lockdown?
I'm still training. I'm watching movies. I'm taking an online class for business.
Okay.
I'm really just, you know, chilling out, but just trying to not gain a whole bunch of weight because I know I have to fight soon as this whole coronavirus thing is over. So just training, staying in shape, trying to eat right, doing some reading and doing this online class really, but also trying to stay engaged with my fans because it seemed like to me, social media hasn't been the most attractive thing to me since this whole coronavirus thing broke out.
And why is that?
I mean, it's just like the coronavirus is everywhere. Everybody's talking about it. Everybody's retweeting whatever Trump has done right, whatever Trump has done wrong. People are tweeting about how they're scared. You got nurses going live with masks on, crying. It's just kind of depressing to see all that stuff when it's like, for me, it's like, if you don't want to, you know, deal with the stuff, just stay in the house. And if I'm going to stay in the house, I don't want to still have to go through dealing with everything that the coronavirus has going on by just seeing it everywhere I'm on, like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Like I just don't want to keep seeing it.
Yeah. I was just talking to somebody earlier and we were saying that, you know, about every 8-9 issues or topics that you see in the media right now is coronavirus related.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How did you just had a birthday, right?
Yeah, I just turned 25.
You just turned 25. That was March 17th, right?
Yeah.
Am I right? Okay. So how did you celebrate? You know, considering that we're in the middle of a pandemic lockdown.
I didn't celebrate it. It was, you know, I was just getting back from Spain probably about a few days earlier, and I had a party planned for that Friday, and it was an all neon party. You had to have on like colors, and you know, this was a 10th birthday party. Half of 50 was what I named it.
Right.
And the party got shut down because it wasn't going to be any more gatherings of over 100 people. Then that number went down to 50, and then it went down to 10. So they canceled the party. And then on my actual birthday on Wednesday, my mentor and her daughters made me cupcakes and brought them over. And my boyfriend flew from Florida, and he got me like this beautiful gift that had like half a heart, and it got us engraved on the inside of it, and it's clear, and it's just a beautiful gift he got for me. And my brother got me a Muhammad Ali poster that had got sent weeks later from China because they had stopped doing deliveries. But everybody who I cared about had got me a gift and a whole bunch of messages from the fans, but I did absolutely nothing. I went and bought furniture that was supposed to get to my new house that I just bought April 8th.
And that's in what city?
The warehouse is shut down.
What city is that?
Flint Township. Flint Township.
Okay.
It's still Flint, but it's just, I guess, a more uppitier part, I guess.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, when I started checking you out and I learned that you were from Flint, Michigan, I was like, man, Michigan don't be playing with that boxing, man. You know, y'all got some greats. I mean, you got Floyd Mayweather, you got Frank Tate. These are champions, I'm naming. Chris Bird, you had Sugar Ray Robinson, you had James Toney, lights out James Toney. You know, those are some major notables, but those are all males. Like, you're like the first female champion out of the state of Michigan. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Nah, it's true.
Yeah.
I think growing up, I heard about Tracy Bird, that she had went pro and she tried boxing, but I heard that she didn't do too well and she had left it alone. But other than that, I hadn't really heard about any other female boxers from Michigan till I came around.
Right, right. So family, I gotta say this, you know, like, I'm checking out your resume, right? And I was like, man, she's 25 years old. She is a very young boxer. And the world is just now really getting to know who Claressa Shields is. But you've already etched your name in the history books, like the stuff you've done so far, like in just a short period of time. It's already guaranteed that people will never forget your name in the boxing world. I just want to just run this list down, you know, for the benefit of those who may not know. You're one of 7 boxers in the history of boxing, that's female or male, to hold all 4 major world titles in boxing. That's the WBA, the WBC, IBF, and WBO titles. As an amateur, you won gold medals in the women's middleweight division at the 2012 and 2016 Olympics, making you the first American boxer, female or male, to win consecutive Olympic medals. For the youngest boxer at the February 2012 US Olympic trials, winning the event in the 165 middleweight division. In May, you qualified for the 2020 games, the first year in which women's boxing was at the Olympics. And you went on to become the first American to win an Olympic gold medal in boxing. On January 27th, this is dizzying, on June 22nd, 2018, in just your 6th professional fight, you defeated Hannah Gabriels by unanimous decision, winning the vacant WBA and inaugural IBF middleweight belts, breaking the record for becoming a 2-time weight world champion in the fewest professional fights. Your December 8, 2018 fight that aired on HBO was your first appearance on the network and also the last boxing card to occur on the Story HBO boxing series. On April 13, 2019, you became the undisputed women's middleweight world champion, unifying the WBA, the WBC, the IBF, and the WBO middleweight titles, along with Ring Magazine's inaugural middleweight belt, after defeating Christina Hammer, unanimous decision. And by the way, I really was like ready to watch that fight after you had called her out in the ring after your fight with who was that?
She called me out after I beat Nikki Adler. She called me out. She got in the ring calling me out.
Okay, so she called you out first, but like when they mentioned her, it like lit a fire, like it made like it's like bam, you know, you was like, where's she at? Where's she at? You know, like, and then she went to the ring and you was like, I beat your ass, and I beat your ass too. And I was like, ooh.
No, because
I'm like, I want to see that.
People always see, like, people see that stuff that happened on TV, but they don't see like the behind the scenes stuff. Like, they don't see where, like, Christina Hammer was like trying me. And you know, I'm from Flint, I ain't no punk. So it's like, it's only so much that I'm gonna deal with and I'm gonna put up with from her. So when they had told me to be nice to her, let's rewind back to when I beat Nikki Adler at 168. And after I win my first world title in 4 fights, here come Christina Hammer jumping inside the ring, and they begged me to be nice to the girl and told me to be really gracious when she gets in the ring, like on like some bow down type of stuff.
Right.
And I get in there and I'm like, you know, after I win and get like a 5th round knockout, she jumps in the ring and she like, congrats, but I beat you both. And I'm like, oh, fuck all that nice shit now. Like, I don't got time for that. Like, I don't tolerate disrespect. And then from there, I let her know, like, I will whoop your ass right now if you get up out that dress. Trust me. And it was always like she was looking down on me, like, people would ask her, like, why do you think you're a better fighter than Claressa? And the answer was, you know, I just am. I'm a better fighter. I'm from Germany. I'm tall, you know? And it was like, okay. And she was always like, oh, I'm prettier. And she would always be on that tip. And I'd be like, for one, you're not even pretty. Two, I just didn't understand. Like I used to have like a list of just going in on. Like I wrote down so much stuff to say to her that I said to her that I know messed with her for the fight. Like she was talking about, you know, how beautiful she was and how nicely she looked in a bikini. And I was like, well, if I was to be an underwear model, I would get way more looks than you because my butt bigger than yours.
Right.
For one, you ain't got no butt. You ain't got no chest. Your nose long. I just go in on her. But that was after she kept disrespecting me, and that's what I didn't like. You was like, look, if you want to keep it professional and talk about boxing, we could do that. But when you try to act like you better than me because, you know, you think you look better and so you fight better just because you look better and you look better in a bikini, and she was calling me fat and a whole bunch of stuff. I just don't play those type of games with people.
Yeah, you know what I noticed about you, what made me really fall in love with you, I noticed you got a warm, kind demeanor. But when somebody come after you, you like, well, you turn it up, and that's how I am. I don't mess with nobody. You know, like I'm cool with it. I mean, I'm cool. Like I ain't cool with everybody, but I'm cool as long as you cool. But if you come at me, you're gonna get it tenfold. Like I'm gonna turn it off. I'm gonna make you wish like hell that you never came at me. Like go find somebody else to play with. I ain't the one. What made having this type of demeanor that you have, what made you want to be a pugilist?
You know what? It was just I always knew how to fight, if that makes sense. Like I was fighting in the streets and I was beating girls up, beating dudes up. And at the beginning people wouldn't believe me, but around 2nd and 1st grade, I was getting bullied in school. I didn't want to fight nobody. It was more of like I just be quiet, do my work, and people would come and bully me, pull my hair, crack jokes about me, copy my paper, and then ball my paper up and throw it away. Just really, really mean to me. And I had like this huge stuttering problem, so I really couldn't tell people what was going on. Like they'd say, "Oh, go tell the teacher." I'm trying to talk to the teacher, trying to tell her like what happened, and it take me 5 minutes to get out one sentence, and I'm like, you know what? I just used to get so frustrated, like, you know what? Forget it. So I was kind of like a mute almost, where I was like, I'm not gonna talk to nobody because I couldn't get my words out because I didn't start talking until I was 5. So.
And how did you conquer that? How did you conquer that speech impediment?
My grandmother, honestly, she was the only one who I would actually like. She would give me. Just tell me things to help me talk better. Like, Coco, before you talk, think. Say if you think about it, then you say it. If you have to think about every word, then say it. Then do that. But she just was like, the reason why you stutter is because all your words are in your head. You want to spit them all out. When it's like, look, you got time, So my grandmother used to work with me. And I was just so comfortable with her, and I knew that she loved me and she cared about me. So I would actually talk to her and express myself to her. And I think by the time I got to 3rd grade, I just had kind of decided, like, you know what? Anybody mess with me, I'm just turning up. And that just came from like, I started boxing when I was 11, and that was what, 5th grade. So 3rd grade is when I started fighting everybody. And then I had started boxing when I was 11. Did I just get that wrong? No, 11 is 6th grade. So I started boxing then, but before then, I was just getting into school fights and stuff like that. And I was like a real angry kid. I was just angry and mad. And when I found boxing, it just was like, I was just so good at it at a young age. I was just so good. And it made me feel good. It made me feel like after I hit the bag that I actually punched somebody. So I could come to the gym mad as ever and then leave the gym, free as a butterfly, happy. And that's what I was striving for. Like, I just want to be happy and not have to worry about everything I was dealing with at home. Not just dealing with stuff at school, but stuff at home I had to deal with. So I was one of those kids who had to deal with a lot. Like, people feel like school is a safe haven for kids, but for me, it wasn't. And then going home, it wasn't the best life either. And I'm just one of those kids who couldn't wait to be grown. You all right? You up here choking? You need some water? Boy, shut up. Talking about some Corona. Playing too much.
Yeah. Who raised you?
Huh?
Who raised you?
My grandmother raised me.
Your grandmother raised you. So what do you think the source of that anger comes from?
I think the source of that anger came from a lot of things. The fact that I was sexually abused as a kid, the fact that I stuttered and couldn't express myself, the fact that I didn't really have like my mom to be there at the time. She was, dealing with that, and also to like, I'm a family of 4 on my mom's side. I'm the second oldest. And my big brother, who I was really, really close when he went to prison when he was 17 and I was 13, and me and him was super close. So when he went to prison, it kind of just like, that made me angry because it's like, dang, I don't got my big brother with me no more. And I had to be like the big sister now to my siblings instead of being like a second, because he used to look after all of us. And then it went to where now I got to look after all of them now. And once that role got put on me at the age of 13, from there, I just was like, that's when I really got like mean and just was like super hard, like to anybody. It didn't matter. You can be nice to me, but I still be skeptical and think that, you wanted something or you was up to something. I'm very protective over my family, always have been. And just like, just all that anger built up, but that's what I feel like helped, give me something to fight for and drive me to be such a good boxer. Because it was just like, I'm not going to lose, especially I'm not going to lose no fight. Can't nobody outfight me because nobody is more angry than I am. Nobody has put in the work that I've put in. Nobody has been through the hell that I've been through. And when I'm fighting, when I first started, it was like, my life got better after every fight. So to me, it was like, somebody who I'm getting in the ring with, you trying to send me back to the trenches? You trying to send me back to where I don't got nothing? So it was like, I'm about to fight for everything, so I can feel like I'm actually like a worthy person. So that's how I was looking at boxing when I was younger.
Yeah. You mentioned your dad. You mentioned your mother. What kind of relationship did you have with your dad?
Say it again.
You mentioned your mother earlier. What kind of relationship did you have with your dad?
Met my dad when I was 9 because he had been in prison for 7 years. And he's the one that signed me up for boxing. We had a good relationship.
Okay.
And we still have a good relationship, but, imagine not, like I said, I wasn't the most trustworthy person. So even meeting my dad when he got out of prison, I just was like,
yeah.
I wasn't too open to having new people come into my life. My dad had to earn that whole being called dad thing, earn that whole, I love you thing. And my dad used to have this thing where like, he'd make us kiss him on the lips when we was getting ready to leave and, stuff like that. And I used to, it was just one day, I think after the second or third time, he was like, why you be acting like you don't want to give me no kiss when you get ready to leave? And I'm like, Dad, I don't like kissing you. Like, I like, Dad, I give you a kiss on the forehead, but I don't want you kissing me on my lips. And my dad was like, okay, dang, why you ain't just say that? I'm like, because I didn't want you to get upset. So when I told him that, like, my dad was like super respectful of it. And ever since then, I always kiss my dad on the forehead. But my dad always say, he wished I was born a boy. He always say that because just how hard I work and my grit. And you know, a boy would say that to their dad, like, don't kiss me on the lips, you know, not like your daughter, your princess, you know what I mean? So getting to know my dad, he was a very understanding person, and meeting him helped me understand myself. Understand, like, I laugh really, really loud, especially when something is funny. I laugh real loud. Right. And I always thought that was a problem. But when I met my dad, his laugh is louder than mine. And my dad, you know, quick-tempered, just like I am. And he's very funny and got a great personality. So I feel like I get a lot of that stuff that I have in me from him.
So your dad was out of the picture at a very young age, and you didn't meet him till you were 9. So that means about at 2 years old, at what point were you aware of his absence? How old were you?
I gotta say probably like, I think I was aware of his absence when he got out, if that makes sense. It was like, you know, my mom and my grandmother raised it's really my grandmother, but I was saying my mom, but my grandmother raised me. It was never like nobody around us to say, oh, you don't have a dad. You know what I mean? So it was like when you don't have something and nobody brings it to your attention, you don't even notice you don't have it. You just like, oh, I never thought about it. But then when he got out and they was all like, that's your dad. And I was like, dang, I never even thought about it. Like, I really didn't have a dad.
Right. Did you know that he was in prison?
Yep.
You know, so did that make you resentful?
No. It didn't make me resentful. When I met him, I was just more of like, you know, who is he? What is he about? And why do he want to be a part of my life? That was more how I thought about it. And but my dad was one of the first men who was very protective over me. Very protective.
Did you tell him about, well, I guess he knows now, but when he found out that you were abused, what was his reaction?
My dad already knew. His family had wrote him years ago. I was like 6 or 7. They had wrote him and told him. Right. And he was kind of, he was upset at himself because he wasn't out to protect me from. But I'm a very understanding person. And I was able to talk to my dad and tell him, like, it wasn't even your fault about none of that. I'm happy you my life now. And basically, like, I'm okay. Like, my dad worries about me all the time. Even now, I'm 25 years old. My dad is still calling me like, hey, baby, you all right? You good? Taking care of yourself? Nobody messing? Like, my dad's always, like, checking up on me.
Right. You know, that's good that y'all were able to pick back up, you know, and repair that, because so often, man, people just don't have it in them to have any type of moral flexibility and just let that go and say, let's start off right now where we are. And that's why, you know, I asked that question because oftentimes I think we as men, we don't think about the full picture of what will happen if we end up dead or we end up in jail, how we leave our families vulnerable, how we leave our children vulnerable, and we're not there to protect them. And so this is why I try to stress, you know, upon guys all the time, like, man, we got to be here for our kids and our family, you know, so that we can protect them, because once we're out of the house, it's wide open, and people oftentimes, you know, take advantage of our people, you know, when we're not around. You debuted as a pro in 2016. How old were you when you started fighting? You said, did you say 11? Hello? I think we lost. What happened? I think we lost her. So I'm gonna have to, hopefully she'll come back in. We lost the connection, family. It was just getting good, huh? Let's see. I'll see what you guys are saying. Let's take a few comments. Al Pizzle, what's up, Al Pizzle? I want y'all to welcome some new members to the channel. Melissa Contreras Cruz, Leland Green, and Leland Green again because he upgraded. That's what's up. Welcome to the channel. If you want to join the channel and get some perks, you know, click that join button and then.
Can you hear me?
I got you right now. She's back. Okay. All right. So, what was the last thing that you remember me asking you? Or what
You asked me how did my dad feel about the whole abuse thing? Did he blame himself type of deal?
Yeah. So I was just saying that the reason why I wanted to know that is because, you know, men often talk about how they would react if something like that would happen. And, you know, to me, I talk about that a lot because, you know, I've been there myself as a man that was not there for my family at times, you know, because I was out in the streets and being wild or whatever. But a lot of times we just don't think about the totality of our actions, how will affect our babies. Because once we are out of the household is vulnerable, and people will oftentimes attack our babies because we're not there to protect them. This is why we got to stay on the ground. We got to stay free. We got to stay alive, you know, so that, you know, our babies don't have to go through these type of things. There is no guarantee if you are on the ground that it wouldn't happen, but it's less likely for those type of things to happen. So I was asking about, you know, your debut. You debuted in 2016. You turned pro in 2016. You started fighting at 11 years old. Am I correct?
Yeah, 11. Yep, 11.
How many brothers did you have?
I got, on my mom's side, I got 2 brothers. And on my dad's side, I got 1. But growing up, I had, it was my younger brother and my older brother.
Now, your older brother, did he live with y'all?
Yeah.
Did he live with you? So did he neglect you or protect you? Because, you know, some brothers be like, hey, man, that's a girl. I ain't got time for her. She's doing girl stuff. And
no, me and all my siblings were always close growing up. Me and my older brother, he went to prison for 7 years. I talked to my older brother every couple days for 7 years. You know, we always had a tight knit, close bond. And, you know, my brother know every relationship I was in the whole 7 years he was in when he was in prison, because I call him and talk to him, you know, tell him what's going on with everything. So, you know, we're close and we done fought together and everything. We definitely did a lot of stuff together. We had a close family.
Right. Have y'all ever fought each other?
Yeah, of course.
Who won? Nobody wins when family fights, okay? That's the answer.
No, I hear you. But it used to be, at first it was my older brother used to be able to beat me up. And I boxed for about a year or 2. And then my little sister was the first person who I ever got into a fight with in my entire life. Mm-hmm. And she beat me up. I was about 8 or 9 years old, she beat me up. And, you know, after that, when me and her would fight when I was about 13, 14, I started beating her up. And it got to the point of that they started jumping me, her and my older brother. And then it got to the point that my brother used to be able to just slam me and the fights would be over. But I had got so strong in my legs and strong in my back, and my brother tried to pick me up one time. I ended up picking him up, slamming him, and then beating up him and my sister. So.
Now, when your little sister beat you up, did she get a whipping?
No.
Okay. Did you get a whipping when you finally did her?
No, my mom always been super hard on me. Like if I was to do something, mom would get really mad and, you know, talk to me like, you know better than that, blah, blah. But if my sister do the same thing, she wouldn't say nothing to her. So I've always been a child that I was a good child. So if I did something bad, it was looked at as worse than what my younger sister did because she was bad all the time, if that makes sense.
Right. Earlier, I mentioned Hannah Gabrielle, the Hannah Gabrielle's fight, which you won, but you experienced your first knockdown.
Yep.
What was going through your head at that exact moment?
Hold on one second. You said what was going through my head when I got knocked down by Hannah Gabriel?
Yeah, you got knocked down for the first time in your pro career. What happened? What was going through your head?
Honestly, the only thought I had was one. It was a shot that caught me off balance.
Mm-hmm.
I really didn't have my foot in. So when I got knocked down, because the shot wasn't that hard either. So when I got knocked down, I looked at the ground on both sides, and I was in the first thought I had to myself, and I was like, "What the fuck are we doing down here?" That's my first thought.
Right.
And I just was like, well, I got up, finished the round, and then when I sat down, my coach asked me, he said, "Are you all right?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "What shot was that?" And he was like, "Yeah, he hit with an uppercut, but it wasn't even hard. You had your feet wrong," whatever he said in the corner.
Right.
And he said, all I need you to do, go in there, get back on the jab like you was. I was winning the round before the knockdown. He said, go in there, get back on the jab, and set the combinations up. He said, it's gonna come. And I'm like, okay. And my only thought I had to myself was win the next 2 rounds, because if they count that round as a 10-8, then you need to catch back up and win 2 rounds. So that's the only thought I had. I wasn't worried. I didn't freak out and go and try to knock her out. I just was like, win the next 2 rounds, then I can start putting some heat on it and trying to, lay her out.
Yeah, that was very good composure to be able to come back the way you did. You were very calm, cool, collected. And by that second round, really, the way you came out in the second round, I think it was at one point you put together like an 8-point combination. And I was like, yeah, she got it. And it appeared to me that that she was slowing down really like in the second round. I know you said that you thought she would slow down in the 6th round, but I thought Hannah started slowing down in the, I thought it was the 2nd round. She just seemed a little winded to me in the 2nd round.
I feel like I got a fast pace. So even first round, she was trying to keep up. And she was telling everybody like, oh, she gonna stand there in front of me, she gonna fight me, and all this other stuff. And at time of the knockdown, that's not what she was doing. She just threw a good shot when I was off balance, and then it caught me and I fell. But I knew she didn't have the stamina. I knew she didn't have a lot of power. And I just think that for that fight, I usually don't get tired of my fights, but that was my first time dropping down to 160 from 168. And I really just lost weight the wrong way.
Yeah. That always has an effect on you when you lose that much weight. Like when you come down from the natural weight, when you go down, that always has an effect on the fight.
Yeah, see, you would think it's only 8 pounds, but for me, I was never having to lose weight from my fights. And then to see that, I had starved the whole day before the actual weigh-in, and I was at 163, and I couldn't get down to 160 for nothing. It was like, I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna eat this salad. I'm gonna drink this smoothie that don't got no water. It don't got no sugar, only the fruits in it. Right. And I still just was not losing weight. So that night, I was 162. Excuse me, I was 163 still. And I put together a sauna room or a steam room in my hotel bathroom. I had got it all super sweaty. I put on my sauna suit, and I shadow boxed about 45 minutes to only lose about 1.5 pounds. And then I was 161.5, and I said, let me see if I can sleep off 1 pound. And I wake up and I sleep off 1 pound like I thought, and I was 0.5 over the day of the weigh-in. So the whole time when we're doing these things, like we're doing interviews, we're talking to the media, we're taking pictures right before the weigh-in, I'm making sure that I try to move. I'm making sure that I don't drink nothing. I'm making sure that I pee at least 1 time before we have to get on the scale, because I was still over. and I still hadn't ate no breakfast. I hadn't ate no lunch, no nothing. I think we weighed in that day around 2-3 p.m. You know, so I hadn't ate nothing for the whole day before, and then that morning and at you know, noon. So I had got on the scale. I was 159.6, and after that I finally was able to eat, but I never really felt like I got my strength back. Like I really, after not eating for almost like a day and a half, I wasn't even that hungry. Like I was hungry, like I ate, but I couldn't drink like I wanted to and hydrate back up because it was like my body had kind of shut off.
Right. Was that your first time?
It was just hard.
Was that your first time losing that many pounds right before a fight? The day before a fight? Yeah, that's a lot. And what is your normal meal regimen on the day of the weigh-in?
The day of the fight and day of the weigh-in, I eat spaghetti.
Spaghetti. Yeah, I used to eat oatmeal. I just one bowl of oatmeal. But I never really had a problem with weight, you know. Never really had a problem with weight.
I love spaghetti. I love oatmeal. I love pasta. The pasta sauce, the marinara.
Right. We talked about these records, all of these records that you own. Like, are you conscious of these records as you're breaking them, or are you just as surprised as other people when they say you're the first woman to do this, the first to do this, you're the first to do this, you're first to do this?
Nah, I'm gonna be a first of a lot of things when I'm done boxing. That's the goal, to be in the history books to where they can't deny me. You know, after I won my first Olympic gold medal, I basically got ignored by all the big endorsers, all the big sponsor people, McDonald's and CoverGirl, whoever you want to say. They didn't even acknowledge me, and I was the best fighter on Team USA 2012. And then for everybody to doubt me and say, oh, she's 17, she ain't gonna win no Olympic gold medal and win a medal, period. To see that I'm the only American boxer in 2012 to win an Olympic gold medal and the only boxer to do it in 2016. Like, that just, to me, showed them, like, that's solidified. That's why I was like, now I'm going to turn pro with my 2 Olympic gold medals. And now I'm going to make everybody who told me no pay double.
Right. That's what I'm talking about. Hey, take me back to that Ivana Habazin fight, when the weigh-in, where it wasn't a fight, but it was the weigh-in, and that was some drama where her trainer got sucker punched, and they tried to blame it on somebody in your camp. Whatever happened with that? Did they ever discover, you know, what that was all about?
I would say we was in Flint. He's been disrespectful to my sister. I was right there in the middle of, I was trying to check my weight before the actual weigh-in. And I think Bashir Ali was just having a bad day, wasn't in a good mood, and just kind of wanted to start a fuss. And I think he was trying to get in my head, which it wasn't getting in my head, but you know, he couldn't get to me, so he wanted to get to somebody who was close to me, which was my older sister, and on my dad's side. And I really wasn't, after I was able to check my weight and see what I weighed before the official weigh-in, I had went to the bathroom. And then when I went to the bathroom, that's when it's so-called sucker punch fight, whatever the hell it was, happened. And like I said, I didn't know what was going on at the moment. And I didn't hear nothing about my brother being arrested for it till 2 days later after the whole incident. So it wasn't, like I said, it wasn't something that I was aware of, and I can't control other people. And and you know, people try to paint me out to be a person who said, oh, it's okay because they think my brother did it and all this other stuff. And I'm like, it doesn't matter who did it, it was still wrong and it wasn't called for. But you know, still talks to my brother to this day. You know, he told me that he didn't do it, but he got charged for it. It was a misdemeanor, and he'll be getting out in a few months. So,
right. How much time did they give him?
A year.
Oh, wow. Damn.
And it was a year because people need to understand that yes, Bashir Ali did get physically assaulted, but he also was an assaulter. Like, let's not act like it was just something that, oh, this poor old man just standing there and somebody walk up and hit him, or however the story was. He was like, no, he was down there antagonizing a lot of people in the room.
Right.
Not, not just, me, but he's talking about he had knocked my sister out. He had knocked that bitch out, and a monkey looking ass bitch. He was saying all kind of stuff.
Oh, hell no.
And it's all caught on camera, and people want to overlook the fact that this situation happened right after. No, it was right before he got hit. And it's like, look, if you're gonna talk about what happened, talk about the full story. And he was disrespecting my sister, but I was right there in the middle. It's a whole video, and he was talking about I'll knock your ass out. I'll show you that you ain't no man. I'll show you that you a bitch. You a monkey. He was going off. So it was like, you doing this in a room full of my family, to my family, and who knows if nobody thought he was talking to me. Right. So I felt like that the whole situation wasn't dealt right through. It wasn't dealt with in the right way, because if it was, he would have been escorted out, because he was verbally assaulting a whole lot of people. He also pushed my mentor. He pushed my best friend, trying to get to my sister. And he also had my sister up over there, up in the corner, crying and hyperventilating, because she thinks she's gonna have to fight this man. So, it's a whole story behind it. But people only want to paint it out to be, oh, her coach got punched in Flint by Claressa Shields' brother. And it's like, tell the whole story. But regardless, like I said, nothing was called for. It wasn't called for him to be verbally assaulting people, and it wasn't called for him to get assaulted. I'm on both sides of it. Like, I didn't want none of it to happen. But you can't go around, especially to Flint, Michigan, antagonizing people. You can't do that.
Well, I can appreciate your position, but I'm gonna tell you, I'm just certain things. An ass whooping will straighten out. And I'm just saying, like, it could have went down better. Overall for you guys, it could have went down better, but dude needed definitely to be blessed. He needed a party thrown for his ass with that type of rhetoric and that type of disrespect. That kind of disrespect.
And I understand what you're saying, but I still just can't say that I condone and stuff like that, because I'm a world champion. And like I said, what all the words he said, I'm used to trash talking. I'm used to cussing people out. This is boxing. But he took it a step further when you try to come at somebody's family in their hometown. And I wish that none of it wouldn't have happened. Whether he was right, whether he was wrong, it don't matter to me. I wish that none of it would have happened. And just to be clear, at first the charges were, I think my brother was supposed to do, face up to 10 years or something like that. Mm-hmm. Because how bad the injuries that Bashir Ali. But when the judge seen that tape of why the incident happened, it got bumped down to a misdemeanor. Mm-hmm. The judge did that. And so it lets you know, like, he was the one who was starting the whole thing in the assault. And now that's what happened. But it was more of like, still, I didn't know anything I didn't know anything about it, but like, the judge seen it how he was supposed to see it, the right way. And you can't punish one without punishing the other. Yeah,
I get it, but he ain't getting out of that room calling my sister no bitches. No woman in my family. You just ain't coming out of that room unscathed calling my women in my family bitches. You're not gonna get away with that. That's just that's my view. That's how I feel about it. Let's talk about somebody else who I would be remiss to not talk about. Laila Ali. Mm-hmm. Is that fight gonna happen?
Can the fight happen? Yes. Will it happen? I don't know. She thinks she is all that in a bag of chips. When when she was boxing, she never got paid more than $600,000 for a fight. She only did 100,000 pay-per-view buys for her and Jackie Frazier fight, and nobody ever considered her to be the best woman fighter. Those who do that off the strength of Muhammad Ali's legacy. So I would love to fight her, but do I think it's gonna happen? I think right now she sees that I'm taking off with boxing. I'm taking off in my career, and a lot of people are getting behind me and wanting to support me and wanting to be tied to me. And she sees that as this happens, as I grow bigger because of boxing and my performances, she feels like her accomplishments are being looked over. Mm-hmm. She's not being looked at as the best female boxer no more. And she don't like that. So she wants to tie her name to mine, not because she want to fight, I don't think. I think it's because she want to stay relevant. And really, without boxing, she isn't relevant except for her cooking channel or her cooking thing or her cooking seasons or whatever it is.
I kind of followed you guys a little bit, your interactions and stuff. And I remember early on, it kind of looked like she was like a mentor to you or something like that,
Hell no.
or at least somebody that you looked up to. I didn't know. I just saw y'all together in some pictures.
She was somebody who I respected, and that's why to look at where we've gotten to now, it's kind of like, it's like I never seen it coming in here because I never, said in any of my, films or leading up to my fights about, I want to be better than Laila Ali. I never used her name to build myself, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of ways you can use people's name to build your own self up. But I was like, when people think of Claressa Shields, I want them to think of Claressa Shields, not, Claressa Shields, the girl who compared herself to Laila Ali this time. It was more of like, if people gonna know me, I want them to know me off of my accomplishments, off of my fights, off of my character, off of my charisma, off of whether they like me or love me. I want them to know me because me. So I never used her name to promote myself ever. And at the beginning when I turned pro, I would tell her, hey, I'm fighting at this time. Hey, I'm fighting on this network. And I think she responded to one text. And then after one fight, she just stopped. She stopped responding. She stopped texting back. I hadn't heard from her in a very, very long time. And I just was like, all right, I wasn't gonna beg for a friendship, but all of a sudden I hear her go up on a Breakfast Club, and she, she gave me like some props in the beginning of the interview, and then they asked her toward, in the middle or something, would you ever come out of retirement and fight any of the champions who are boxing now? And she like, no, it'd just be too easy for me if I was to come out of retirement, and I'll be any of them. And just like, whoa, hold up. She said that to not be, it wasn't supposed to make me feel a certain way, when it was like, how? You just had to acknowledge me as being one of the best woman fighters, and you just acknowledge that me and you fight at the same weight class and everything. And now you're telling me that, and now further in the interview, you're saying there's no girl good enough for you to come out of retirement because nobody would give you a good challenge. Like, you would just get in there and knock us all out, who at 168, 160 pounds. You would knock us all out with just one punch. Mm-hmm. And he was like, nah, F that. I'm not taking that disrespect. And I responded to that, and I was like, not that I want to fight her, but no, she can't come out of retirement after not boxing for 12, 13 years and just knock any girl out and beat all of us. No, she can't. Right. Yeah, she got to.
Can you move the camera where we can see your face more?
Hi. Can you see me?
Yeah. Yeah. You have this title that people freely use in regards to referencing you, and that's GWOAT, the greatest woman of all time.
Yeah.
Now, you've only had 10 fights. So some
Yeah.
people's contention is that how can she be the greatest of all time and she's only had 10 fights? Before you answer, I would like to just say that it reminds me of T.I. saying that he was the king of the South before he had, a number of albums under his belt. I thought it was cocky, but I liked it. I liked the confidence. And is this title that you gave yourself something that you believe that you already earned, or is something that you are speaking into life? You're speaking this into existence.
No, I am the GWOAT, the greatest woman of all time. I've been that since you talking about the amateurs. When I won 2 Olympic gold medals from the Olympics, we talking about a girl who won up in four professional fights, knocked out a girl in 5 rounds who was 17-0 with 9 knockouts, and I had 5 fights, knocked her out in the 5th round. We talking about I just became a 3-time division world champion, faster than any other boxer in history, with doing it by 10 fights, and Lomachenko held that record at 12. We're talking about me fighting against a reigning champion who was a WBC and I believe a WBA world champion for 9 years. And I get in the ring with her after only got 8 fights and smash her. 10 rounds of a beatdown. And people were telling me, oh, she too experienced, she too tall, she too strong, she too this, she too that. I get in there and beat her down. The thing is, it's not a regular 10 fights. Look at the record of everybody that I fought. Look at how many girls they knocked out, how many wins.
Yeah, Hannah Gabriel, that's what I noted too. Hannah Gabriel's had like
18, 1-1.
She was 18, 1-1 when you won the title from her.
When I won against her. So now she 8. Now she probably got more wins now, but I made her 18, 1-2. Yeah, for sure. So I definitely added her second loss to her. But it's like, that's who I'm fighting against. That's why I say I'm the greatest one of all time, because I'll fight whoever you put in front of me, and I'll make them look like an amateur, a novice fighter. They're not gonna be able to do nothing with me. And everybody like, oh, these girls, they just suck, and the competition is so low. When it's like, nah, actually, these girls are strong. These girls are fast. These girls can actually box, but I'm just better than them in all those fields. That's all. And don't nobody want to, nobody want to give me those props. It was always, oh, she can probably outbox her. Oh, she can outbang her. She can outslick her. She can do this. And it's like, they find out that these girls can't, because I'm great at everything. I'm great at boxing. I'm great at brawling. I'm great at moving. I got great defense, and I use it when I want to use it. But I got better skills than a lot of men.
I thought the Hannah Gabriel's fight was really a good test for you. And I thought it was really, really good for boxing, because we saw world-class boxing, 2 female boxers, head-to-head, taking it and giving it. And that was classic. That was very good for boxing.
Thank you.
Yeah. When you think about the record, I just want to make this last point about the record. When you think about people who constantly talk about, well, you only have 10 fights. Now, at first it was she only won 6 fights. How could you be the greatest? She only had won 7. She only had 8. She's only had 9. That's 10. Is there a sense of urgency to pad that record, to get on up there in the 20s and 30s, so people can, okay, I guess she is really the GOAT. Maybe she is the GWOAT.
That's when you care about what other people think. I don't care if they say, oh, she can't call herself the GWOAT till she got 20 this fights, or she got more fights than this person or that person. I don't care about none of that.
Right.
I'm the GWOAT right now. because of the people that I've already beat. And it's hard for me to get fights. I'm steady calling out everybody. Nobody's coming to the table calling me out. And if a girl says she is calling me out, she lying.
Right.
You know, so it's more of just like, I'm not worried about what everybody say. It's no urgency for me. I'm going to fight the best, and that's how my legacy will be cemented in the history books when they talk about, you know, women empowerment, and when they talk about strong women and women in business, my name will come up about how I use boxing as my own business and how I came from poverty to be rich, you know, and I'll be able to say that, you know, I'm going to be the first, I'm going to be the first female boxer to be a millionaire and off boxing.
Oh, that's going to happen. That's definitely going to happen. It might happen if you fight Layla, then you'll be two. I guess it'll happen simultaneously because that is a mega money. That's a bag fight. That's 20, 30 million a piece right there. Like, I'm coming to see that fight. I think that fight needs to happen.
Well, tell Layla, she keeps saying, you know, she need at least 5 million just to get in the ring, whatever. And my thing is, nobody knows how women's boxing will do on pay-per-view. It's only been, I think, one fight, which was hers and Jackie Frazier's, and she did 100,000 buys.
Yeah.
So some people, they're like, Muhammad Ali's daughter only did 100,000 buys on pay-per-view. That scared promoters and people away from wanting to put on women pay-per-view boxing matches, because if she can only do 100,000 pay-per-view buys, her and Jackie Frazier, they feel like no other woman fighter has a big enough, strong enough following to do even better numbers than that. When I feel that women's boxing has grown so much that I could definitely do over 100,000 buys. But it's still like, we will never know till I fight on pay-per-view. I feel like Laila Ali, like, she should come to the table and say, look, whatever pay-per-view numbers we do, we split the money down the middle.
Yeah.
That's it. So we do 500,000 pay-per-view buys, $1 million, however much, split down the middle. And I feel like we will show them that women's boxing can sell and we are pay-per-view worthy, because they do it in MMA all the time. But women's boxing hasn't got on board.
Yeah, I personally think that the split, I think you're being generous with the split.
Yeah.
You know, like I would pay to see Claressa Shields fight. Like, I would go out of my way to see that fight, see Claressa Shields fight, because I know somebody gonna get their ass whooped for real. This ain't gonna it ain't gonna just be a boxing match. Somebody gonna get their ass whooped, you know. So
right.
And I'm a fight fan. I'm a real fight fan, and I like fighting. I like to watch fights. I don't want to just see somebody in the ring and tip, tip, tap, tap, tap. Oh, it was okay. I want to be excited. I want to feel the excitement, the exhilaration, I want the anxiety. I want all of that. I want all that smoke. And when you step in that ring, before you even step in the ring, that anticipation is there. You kind of like feel like somebody is going to have a funeral next week.
God.
So I would personally, as a fight fan, I would like to see that fight, because your style, it's more aggressive, and it's not just aggressive, but it's polished. And when you look at you fight, you're like, shit, she can fight. Like, that type of fighting will make a dude look at you and be like, nah, I'm good.
Right, exactly.
I'm good on that. I know you got to go, but just a couple more questions I want to ask you. Society tends to put gender restrictions on us, right? And boxing is one of those major gender restrictions that people like to put on us. Especially I'm talking about women. Do you experience rejection, or has people kind of been receptive to you?
A little bit of both.
Yeah.
People People love me in boxing. I can say I definitely have more lovers than haters.
Right.
But when I first turned pro, when I first even started like talking trash, it was so many people and even writers who would say, "Oh, women shouldn't speak like that, and women need to, stay in their place, and women need to be polite, and shit like that."
Right.
And as I'm going through this, I had to remind those writers and remind those haters that the reason women's boxing was dead before I turned pro in the last couple, 20 years or so, it's been dead. Why? Because these women are too polite. Because these women aren't willing to tell you their worth the right way. The women aren't willing to take the biggest challenges. The women are not standing up for themselves, not just to their opponent, but to these promoters, to these networks. And, for me, it was like, I'm just going to take a different route. I'm not going to be polite. I'm not going to be held back. I'm not going to let somebody make me be a certain way when I am who I am. And, it's not really shit talking for me because that's who I am. That's what I grew up around. And that's the attitude I have, So when a girl comes saying, "Oh, she's going to beat me," or she thinks she's going to win, or no, girls have been like, "Oh, I'm going to do my best and I'm going to try." And when they give me the mic, I let them know I'm about to beat her ass. I'm about to fuck her up.
Right.
It is what it is. And people are like, "Oh, yeah, that's the truth."
Right.
If Adrian Broner can talk trash, I can talk trash. Period.
Right.
If he can, Floyd Mayweather, who Olympic bronze medalist, 50-0 in the pros, whatever. I'm a 2-time Olympic champ, 3-time division champ. I can talk as much trash in boxing as I want to talk. And it was my main thing was to them females, because some females had got so used to just being quiet and not seeing no females stick up for themselves. They're like, "Oh, we all need to be polite." And it's not that serious. And I'm like, that's your problem. To me, it is that serious. A girl, or I don't care who it is, man or woman, trying to kick my ass. And you talking about it's not that serious.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
to you it's not. To me it is. I take it very serious and I take it very personal. And but yeah, I think now people get used to it. They're like, yeah, Clarissa's gonna say what she wanna say, but people have learned now that it's not just trash talk, it's the truth. I just keep it 100 with people. Like I told people before the Hammer fight, they were talking about how tall she was, how good she was, how this and that. And I said, I'm going to beat her worse than I beat the last opponent. It's going to be a shutout. And I was telling everybody that, like, I'm not worried about her. Watch. And when I did, they're like, whoa, yeah, now find somebody else to come beat me because she wasn't the one.
Hey, this is what I wanted to ask you about. Like, you have power and speed. And when I check your knockout record, it only showed 2 knockouts.
Yep.
Is that something, you don't really care about knockouts. You just want to whoop the hell out of somebody as long as you can whoop them. It seemed like to me, if you wanted to just go in and get the knockouts, you could get the knockout. It's
really a mental thing for me. Right. The thing is, I'm trying to polish my skills, my boxing, right? So when I was going out there and I was just beating girls up, because when I think my first 4 fights is when I got the 2 knockouts. And when I was doing that, people were saying like, "Oh, she only goes out there and just manhandles the girl. She don't have no skills."
Okay.
And I'm like, what the? Who? I ain't got no skills. Oh, that was disrespectful. So now I just go in there and I just be lighting girls up, having fun, jabbing, moving my head, making them miss, jab, throwing the combinations and stuff, showing off the speed, just to show them that, yeah, I do got skills and I got a lot of speed and I got a really good jab and to show my skills. But knockouts never really been important to me. It's always been about like beating a girl ass. That's it. And I think that I've broken girls. I may not have knocked the girl out, but I've broken her spirit mentally. She probably don't want to box no more after boxing against me. She's never the same after that. Christina Hammer went almost a whole year without fighting again after I beat her. She just fought February 8th, and we fought last year, April 13th, a year from today.
Right. Yeah, that's a lot.
You know, and then this girl, Ivana Habazine, after I beat her, she's so messed up in the head. She tries to go and qualify for the Olympics to get knocked out the first round for our country.
Mm-hmm.
To get beat the first round, and she's still just so confused, don't know what to do, because I done took her heart from her. Her spirit gave her 10 rounds of hell. 10 rounds to where you know you getting hit hard as hell, but your mind don't want to quit because you hate me so much. You don't like me that much. And I put it on you and then back up and look at you and then put it on you some more, letting you recover. And you just, in your mind, you like, dang, what can I do? What can I do? And you see that all that training you did, because these girls train hard for their life. You know, they train so hard when they get ready to fight against me, and they put in all this extra work, these extra miles, they run in hills and mountains to get in the ring and see, damn, that still wasn't enough? No, it wasn't. You still got beat up 10 rounds. You still got hurt. You still didn't even put a mark on me. So they feel really bad after. So it's not really a big deal to get the knockouts. Do I want the knockouts? Yeah, they are coming. But I just be having so much fun, you know, whooping a girl's ass that I don't even be thinking about it.
Yeah, you had mentioned a foreign fighter. You fought seven foreign fighters so far. I think you had 7 or 8. One. I know you fought more foreign fighters than you fought Americans, but all of that has been on American soil. Yeah. Are you looking forward to going abroad to fight some of these women? Because I think the person will really get up when you start going traveling abroad.
You know, it don't matter where we fight at. I'm gonna show up and I'm gonna fight. I'm gonna win. I'm actually used to traveling in the girls' backyard and whooping their ass. That's not nothing new to me.
Well, yeah, you're Olympic champion. I mean, that you fight everybody. I mean,
everywhere. So it don't matter.
Yeah, you fight.
But the thing is, a lot of these girls they're not known. So why go somewhere where, you know, we're going to have a venue of 10,000, 5,000 people to not have nobody show up? Because, you know, when we go into somebody's home country or somebody's home, you know, hometown, Flint going to show up for me. Like up in Detroit, they're going to show up. In New York, they're going to show up because I have a large fan base that I've been building. But some of these women just are not building themselves up. Like, I don't mean to be, you know, rude about it, but taking pictures in your bikini and in your dresses is not gonna make people, you know, look at you box. I'm just keeping it real. Like, and I be telling, you know, a lot of girls ask me, like, oh, how'd your following go up 300K and this and that and that? I really post boxing content. I'm always posting on my story. I'm always posting on my page. I'm posting about boxing highlights. You know, I'm going to the fights, taking pictures with boxers. I'm all over. Right. And my life is boxing, but y'all want to post these cute pictures with boxing gloves on in a dress. Nobody want to see that. Or, you know, it got some girls who won't even, they'll be all nice to their opponent, like, oh, I hope I win. It's going to be a war. And I'm like, don't nobody want to see two girls fight who are hugging and kissing on each other. Mm-hmm. You know, like, you got to show them that, like, it's a time to be a lady and it's time to be a fighter. Mm-hmm. You know, and when I be in them meetings, at them press conferences, that's when it's time for me to be the fighter.
Turn up.
And I can have on my cute clothes and everything, but I'm going to sell the fight. And I'm going to sell myself to where people know Claressa Shields is a fucking monster. She want to destroy somebody. She want to hurt somebody. And that's why Mike Tyson has such a huge following. People were scared to death of him, but they still showed up to his fights. Right.
Because we got this thing about us as people. We want to see the damage. We want to see the gore. As much as we try to act like we don't, we want to see it. We want to go to a boxing match and we want to see somebody get knocked the fuck out.
They want to get blood on their shirt.
We want to see blood. You know, that's what we want to see. I've watched fights with women and they'll be like, oh, you know, somebody get hit. Oh, I can't see that. Oh, I can't watch. I can't watch. Yeah, they want to see it. They want to see it. Who inspired you coming up, men and women in boxing?
Ann Wolf and Lucia Riker was two of the women that I looked at. I just was like, I was mesmerized by Lucia Riker. Her skills to me was like, oh my God. Mm-hmm. Just beautiful skills, good speed, just a nice person, so sweet, such a nice person. And then you got, on the other hand, you got Ann Wolf walking out the gospel with the two ponytails and come out there and knock your lights out, man, put you to sleep. And so I had some respect for that. It was like, she never cared about what nobody said, what nobody did. She was just like, she'd tell you, like, I'm a killer, you know, like, I'm like I'm gonna destroy her. I'm gonna knock her out. And she spoke with such conviction. You can tell it wasn't rehearsed. Mm-hmm. You can tell she ain't studied no film or trying to talk like nobody. Like, to me, Laila Ali tried to talk like her dad, Muhammad Ali. But it's like you not him, but when you hear Ann Wolf talk, you hear like that grit and that anger come from somewhere deep in her. Mm-hmm. And you can't make that kind of stuff. To me, she was cut from a different cloth. And just seeing her run and work out and put Kirk Franklin through his workouts and stuff. Wait, was it Kirk? Who was that fighter she trained?
It wouldn't be Kirk Franklin. Kirk.
That's the gospel singer.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Damn. What's that guy name? I can't think of
Kirk Franklin. No.
No.
It's not Kirk Franklin. Why did that keep going to my head?
I'm gonna look it up right quick.
Boxer who Ann Wolf trained. I feel like his first name was Kirk, though. Am I wrong? Or Frank or something?
Wasn't Kirk. I remember the dude's name because I remember who you're talking about. I'm trying to think. What was the okay, I see. It was James Kirkland.
That's why I'm like, where's the Kirk coming in at?
You got the Kirk
James
in there.
Kirkland, exactly.
Yeah.
So just watching her train him, I just was like, man, she is, to me, I was like, bro, she insane. And you know, it's always just great to see that another woman spoke like that, because that's how I knew I was gonna be I was gonna be in the pros. Like, I knew I was gonna be somebody who they was like, yo, this chick is mean. She wanna fight. She knocking girls out. She's taking on any challenge. And I wanted to be looked at more of like, not just like a pretty woman fighter, but I want them to think like, yeah, she's pretty, but I would never even try to confront her or even try to talk to her because I know she'll put my fucking lights out. That's how I want people to look at me.
Have you met Ann?
Yeah, I did. I met her back in 2013.
And how was that experience?
She was really nice to me, really, really nice, and spoke very highly of me. Wanted to see my Olympic gold medal. I let her see it because I always had it on me. Mm-hmm. And I just remember, like, she was really, really nice, really nice. And she always just mentioned, like, you know, she mentioned Laila Ali to me, and she just was like, people say that I was scared of her, but have you seen me fight? And I would look at her like, duh, of course I seen you fight. And then she would be like, so do you think I would be scared of Laila Ali? And I just was like, no. And she just was like, exactly. But I met Laila Ali, and Laila Ali told me the same thing, that Ann Wolf was scared of her. But women in boxing will tell you that if they try to even put Laila Ali and Ann Wolf in the same room, that one of them just won't show up. It don't matter who, but one of them be like, I'm not going. Like, they don't even want to be in the same room as each other. It's crazy.
Yeah. With all this temptation out here, how do you stay focused?
Temptation as in what? Like drinking, smoking?
Yeah, there's so many temptations. You got drinking, you got smoking, you got partying. you know?
I really like want to use my youth the right way, if that makes sense. Like, I don't know how long I'll be in boxing, you know, God willingly, till I feel like I'm ready to be done. But really, like, I have, to me, it's not a big window. I feel like I've been boxing for what, 14 years already, and now I'll probably be boxing for 24 years and 10 more years. But it's more for me, like, I want to do everything that I can do right now.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I do decide to retire when I'm about 35 or whatever, I can say, like, I did everything, you know, and it's going to be hard for the girls to beat those records, and I'll always be cemented in the history books. And I just want to go down in history as the best woman fighter ever. So, you know, drinking and smoking and stuff can derail you from that, you know, it can take away from that, from what I hear, you know. And, you know, I'm friends with, I can't even say friends. Like, I'm close with so many boxers, and Zab Judah being like my dog, you know. And me and him he was such a talented boxer, such a good boxer, and you know, he couldn't deal with temptation.
Yeah.
You know, so so for him to tell me, like, hey sis, you know, don't worry about the partying, don't worry about the drinking, it'll all still be there when you get done boxing. To hear that come from him, he's lived that through experience.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so when he tell me that, I take it all in, and I listen. And I'm not really like a big drinker now. Will I go out and party and stuff? Yeah, but I don't have to drink to have a good time. And I've never smoked ever, so it's not something I want to do.
Right. When Zab was in Houston training back in the late 90s, I saw him hit a dude in the gut. And when I say dude scream like he just, it's like somebody was dying. I hit him with some. Zab was a very, very great fighter.
Yeah,
you know,
sure was.
But it's good. I'm glad that you got people like that around you, you know, who would tell you the truth, because it's so many wolves in sheep clothing out there.
Yeah.
You mentioned your
Tell me about it.
You mentioned your sister earlier. What kind of role did she play in your camp?
My older sister?
Yeah, you were saying that trainer for Ivana.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were saying
Me and my sister are just close. You know, just like me and the rest of my siblings are.
Right.
Honestly, I'm way different than all these other fighters. Like, fighters train with big entourages, have about 6, 8, 10 people with them all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Be honest, when I'm in camp, it's me, my boyfriend, and my coach.
Right.
That's it. I ain't got no big entourage. When I go to the mall, it's me and my boyfriend. When I go out to eat, me and my boyfriend. When I go to the gym to work out, me and my boyfriend and my coach. I go to spar, me and my coach. You know, I don't got no. I'm not really like I'm sociable. Like, I'll talk to people when it's in that setting, but when it comes to the gym, I don't like people talking to me.
Right.
I don't like people in my face and have conversations, want to laugh and giggle. I'm at the gym to work. You know, I'm giving 3-4 hours of hard work, you know, every day, and I don't got time to be in the gym hee and the ha because we're not gonna be hee and the ha if I get my ass whooped.
Huh. Say
You know,
that.
so
Say
I'm just
that.
like,
Huh.
I don't like that kind of stuff. Like, I'll go to the track and we can meet up and have a morning workout together. But when it comes to boxing, I'm here for business and I'm here to work. So I don't need no entourage for that.
Right.
I only have an entourage, or I wouldn't even say entourage. I say my main people the week of the fight. I got my mentor, my best friend, my boyfriend, and my coach. And all my family show up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but they show up the day before the weigh-in, the day of the weigh-in. But other than that, I'm not really being bothered by nobody. I'm focusing on my fight. I'm focusing on my weight. I'm focusing on my eating. I'm focusing on my water intake. And I'm really like by myself or with one other person during that. And my mentor, my best friends are the only ones who can deal with me during fight week. Nobody want to be around me. Well, nobody want to talk to me. They have to be around me, but it's like I'm just like so short-tempered at that time. I'm freaking hungry. You know, I'm ready to fight. Anybody can get it. You know, and I just really like let my mentor, my best friend deal with everybody, because if somebody come trying to be in my space trying to talk to me, it just be like, you can say the wrong thing and I've been went off and everybody be like, oh, no. They all want me to stay calm and go to the room and, watch movies. They want me to stay calm, go and get your hair braided, because I just be so on edge because I'm so anxious and I'm so ready to fight. Like 6 weeks of like being in the dungeon. And now I finally get to come outside. Like it's crazy. Fight week.
Right. Well, it's important that they see that, they know that you're too valuable to be just, you're a big target. I mean, you can't have you out there just acting like anybody else or like you're not valuable. You have to really value yourself like other people do, because, there were times that I didn't really value my position and I put myself in some bad spots and it cost me. So it's good that you're up on that and you got good people around you. Before I let you go though, I want to just bring the subscribers in real quick because they got a few questions for you. Serena Santiago asked, how does she feel living her dream?
I feel great living out my dream. Living out your dream, actually, it takes a lot because there's always somebody trying to tell you that your dream is not worthy. You have to build up to live in your dream. You got to take it step by step. You can't just get there. But on the way there, getting to that stardom, getting to that where you can say, oh, I'm living out my dream, it's going to be so many doubters, so many haters, so many people trying to make you do something different. And the minute you let them discourage you, the minute you will see like you living in the life of hell, because the heaven you were going to, the living your dream part, you let somebody discourage you to where you didn't get there. So you got to just keep going no matter what nobody tell you. Like, I read some articles when I was 16 and 17 and up in the comment section, and somebody said she's going to be brain dead by the time she turns 17. That girl ain't going nowhere. Boxing not for a woman. She'll never make no money. And now I'm 25. I did it when I was 24, but I just bought my first house. I got 3 cars. I take very good care of myself and my family. And boxing is my main income, so living a dream takes some time to get there, but it's definitely durable.
Yeah, when you were in school, in elementary school, in middle school or high school, when you said, I want to be a professional boxer, and all the other girls were saying, well, I want to be a nurse, I want to be a school teacher, I want to be a runway model, I want to be a businesswoman. You said, I want to be a professional boxer. What was that reaction like? How was people reacting to that?
I had a best friend in 8th grade, and when I told her that I was a boxer, she was like, oh, so what do you do? Type of deal. And I just feel like, I box. I go to the gym, I train, and I box. Right. And I came to school one time with the black eye, and she asked what happened. I was like, oh, boxing practice. And after that, she just was like, oh, no. I think it was just, I don't know. Back when I was coming up in school, I played basketball, I played volleyball, and I ran track and cross country. I was always one of the fastest runners, one of the girls who would, keep up with the guys and stuff. And I just remember a girl saying to me like, well, I don't want to work that hard because I don't want to sweat. And when she said that and I looked at her, I was like, well, if you're working hard, you're going to sweat. And if you want to win, you're going to sweat. So what do you mean you don't want to sweat? And she was like, sweating is for boys. I was like, no, it's not. And it was like, people look at women working out hard and they think it makes them unattractive or something or whatever. And I just was like, hard work is for winners, male or female. And if you don't understand that, then I don't know, we on the same track team.
That's a quote right there. Hard work is for winners. We got Ray's Rim says, can we get frequent content on YouTube, on your YouTube channel? Just you being you.
What's his name?
Ray.
Ray, tell Ray, well, Ray, I've been trying to figure out how to not only work my YouTube channel, but piece all the stuff together because I was doing workout videos. But for some reason, my phone storage is acting very, very silly and sending all my videos and stuff to the iCloud. So when I'm going to piece all my workout videos together, it's taking forever for them to load onto the apps and for me to piece them all together and edit them. And so I have been able to do my YouTube videos. So I went to the Verizon store today to get it fixed, and they don't really have any answers either. I may have to get a whole nother phone and try to do like the recordings and stuff and do them together. But videos me just being myself. I haven't really started that yet, like the whole like interview things and stuff like that yet, or like the blogs. I know that people want to see me do like a weekly blog, but I haven't even started doing those yet.
Yeah, let's talk after this. I can help you with that YouTube thing.
Okay.
That's an easy fix. Honey, Mr. Dazon, I guess, says that, Claressa, do you think about being compared to Floyd Mayweather?
Yeah, it happens. You know, like the fans will keep it real with themselves, compare me to him. But you know, overall, I've had my name in the same sense as a lot of greats. And I'm just super appreciative of that. And it lets me know that I'm doing the right thing. And right now, I think that Floyd, I just want to be compared to him as that, you know, I fought the best fighters, beat the best, and made the most money. So, you know, I'm trying to make the most money in women's boxing, you know, at this point.
I think a rematch with Hannah Gabriels would be a good fight.
I'm a smoker.
The rematch?
I'm a smoker ass. Watch. Again.
Is there talk of a rematch?
Yeah, because now, you know, I fight at 154, and I'm fighting to be undisputed at 154. My next fight against Marie-Eve DeCare. And Hannah has one of the belts at, it's weird. Like, she's a WBA regular champ, and I'm WBA super champ. It's weird. So me and her can fight for her belt too. And I'll still be undisputed at 154 with or without her. But I love to give her a rematch just to shut her up, to show her that, yeah, you just should have been happy that you got the knockdown and should have been over. She really boastful about it. She make it seem like, you know, she slayed the dragon when really, you know, you knocked the dragon down, but you still got slayed. You still got beat up. You still was, you know, back there crying on your manager after you got your ass whooped.
I think if they properly promote that fight, I think that fight can get up there. I think that fight can do some good numbers because that fight.
I think that we did 430K views on Showtime. 430K views on Showtime.
Okay.
I feel like the next time we fight, it should definitely be a pay-per-view fight, and that's what I'm pushing for. Is one of my goals, for this year is to have my first pay-per-view fight against a really great opponent, and to really make the numbers match up to what my mouth does, you know, and my performances. But I think that I can get hundreds of thousands of pay-per-view buys just because I have fans all over the world.
Well, you keep fighting those international fighters, you're going to keep on collecting those fans because one thing about those international fighters, their fan bases are really, really loyal. I mean, if they even, and I'm sure I wasn't even there, and I can tell you right now that at least one or two of those fighters, when you was fighting those fighters in the United States, they had a huge legion of fans who showed up at that fight. And there was like, he was probably like, where the hell did all these people come from? I've seen those people show up at fights, especially those Irishmen, people, those type of cats, oh man, yeah, they show up in droves.
I wish they had somebody from Ireland who was a 160 pounder. I'll smash her.
Yeah, I have no doubt about that. Jamel Frazier says, as a champion, do you feel there more for you to improve on in your fighting skill?
Yeah, no fighter is perfect. There's always something to improve on. I think that's why all my fights you've seen, like, if you go back and look at when I knocked out Nikki Adler in the 5th round, you look at that fight and see the mistakes. And then look at when I just put on this clinic against Ivana Habazin, my last fight. You will see it's like two different people, because I don't just watch my film to look at how I destroyed a girl, but I'm looking to see my mistakes. Forget all the good stuff. I want to fix the bad stuff, and I try to fix it as best as I can throughout that camp, and I perform better. So each of my fights I've performed at a better level.
Right. I Am Legend Boxing says LDBC here for you. What is LDBC? Do you know what that is?
LDBC stands for
LDBC.
It's some brothers up in Texas, and that's what I know. They have their own little boxing channel. They got their own YouTube live that I've actually done on here too. But LDBC is something brothers. With a C. Yeah. I forgot. Can't think. I don't know. But I know that there's some brothers from Texas though.
Okay. Lions Den Boxing Community. Okay. That's Lions Den Boxing Community.
I don't got nothing with the word brothers in it?
No. The B stands for boxing.
Oh wow. But yeah, I know I've interviewed on there once or twice before, but those guys are good supporting brothers though, for sure.
Right. Okay. Absolutely. And that's pretty good right there. Okay, fam. I really do appreciate you. You know, I know we had some difficulty and we was running behind, and the fans, you know, I appreciate y'all. Y'all were getting restless, but y'all hung in there. And Claressa was getting frustrated, but she hung in there like a true champ, and we got it done. So I appreciate you, and till next time. I do want to ask you this though, like, you know, I do need to get everybody right now that's listening to this broadcast to move on over to Claressa's Instagram page, and tell them how to find you on Instagram.
My name is at Claressa Shields on Instagram, CLARESSA Shields, SHIELDS. I'm also on YouTube. Go to Claressa Shields GWOAT channel. And if you put my name on YouTube, I'm quite sure it should pop up. You know, subscribe to me. I'm at 2,300 subscribers. So subscribe to my channel.
How many subscribers?
2,300.
Okay, we got to get those numbers up. So let's get everybody over to that YouTube channel first. I'm gonna put a link in the description and make it real easy for them. Hold on a second.
Yeah, if you go to Claressa Shields GWOAT channel, it should be on there.
Let's see. Gotta find the link. Okay, so
losing your mind, niece.
So Miss Michi, can you put that put a link in there for Claressa's YouTube channel? Miss Michi is one of the moderators. She's on duty, taking care of business, keeping the trolls off. So say the name of your YouTube channel one more time.
Claressa Shields GWOAT channel.
Claressa Shields
GWOAT.
GWOAT. GWOAT. The greatest woman of all time has just been interviewed on WillieDLive. I just put it in your face, sucker. I appreciate you, Claressa.
Thank you for having me, Willie D.
Absolutely. Let's connect, you know, so I can get you straight on that YouTube. We can get that popping.
Okay, for sure. Thank you.
Absolutely. Oh, anything else? Any other contacts you want to give out or let them know?
Everybody stay in the house, drink your vitamin C, drink your water, and don't go on large gatherings. Be blessed. Amen.
Absolutely. No more talk.
Okay. Bye.